name is Antoinette Halberstadt. I'm a Castlegar resident and grandmother of 2 young Castlegar children. I applaud the city's efforts to reduce chemical pesticide use to date, but I am very alarmed at the fact that pesticides are still being applied or about to be applied yet again in Kinnaird and Millennium ball fields, especially for the sake of my grandchildren and other children in town. I refer you to page 2 of this pesticide backgrounder that we supplied. Towards the bottom of it, Canadian Cancer Society says studies have found a 2 to 3 times increased risk of leukemia associated with childhood or prenatal exposure to household or garden pesticides. And further down, Dr. Richard Yacht, chair of the Canadian Leukemia Studies Group, goes further, saying recent studies make it crystal clear that 2,4-D used to kill weeds on lawns causes non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. There's more information down there too from the U.S. National Library of Medicine and the National Institutes of Health, and so on and so forth. So, we represent 314 Facebook members and 1,008 signatories to our petition here. Here we are, who want the city of Castlegar to, number 1, stop applying chemical cosmetic pesticides as of now in Kinnaird and Millennium playing fields and any other public spaces that we don't yet know about. And 2, commit at your next council meeting where you'll be debating this to a timeline to enact in the very near future a bylaw banning cosmetic chemical pesticide use in public spaces, in parks, green spaces, and common areas citywide. Our next steps will be to take this to the regional district of Central Kootenay, which is why some of the signatories on here are from out of town, and then to work with you and the Cancer Society, Patty Cook, who has, you'll see, she's written you a letter offering her services, to get a bylaw drawn up and passed as soon as possible. Our part could include a public education campaign. We gather the pesticides slated for use on Millennium and Kinnaird playing fields late this summer is Trillium. Its primary ingredient is 2,4-D. And if you've read our pesticides backgrounder, you'll clearly see references to studies showing threats to health, especially of children and children born of exposed mothers, and to pets, and of course, multiple negative environmental impacts. So, our next speaker tonight is Melissa Klein.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for having us. My name is Melissa Klein, and I've been living in the Pass Creek Valley since 2009. My partner Tom McCrae and I have 2 children, aged 2 and 8, and we attend many recreational community events within the city of Castlegar. While we do not live within the municipal boundary, we are taxed for the use of the recreational facilities and greatly enjoy spending our time here in Castlegar. As you all have copies of our submitted documentation, I would invite you to please turn to Dr. LaRocque's letter dated June 11, 2013. He had stated there that there is no doubt within the medical literature that pesticide exposure can cause health risks, particularly in children. He has also outlined some important research into the field of epigenetics regarding gene regulation. Please pay particular attention to the effects chemicals can have on regulation of the genes within our DNA, as this is not information to be taken lightly. I'll share a personal story with you guys. Last summer, while our daughter was attending the summer reading program at the library, it's been an extremely unfortunate experience. After dropping my daughter at the main doors, I took my infant son up the stairs to the play area and water park, where we enjoyed our time for the next 2 hours. When the reading program was over, we picked up my daughter and headed back up to the park for a picnic lunch and some more activities. However, as we were leaving the park, I noticed 3 signs which were facing the road. I had not seen these signs at any of the other entrances. These were pesticide application warning signs advising not to use the park at all. Unfortunately for my children, and especially my infant son, we just spent a great deal of time crawling, lying, and playing in the grass. This was very troubling to me, especially because the park was filled with other families who had apparently not seen the signage either. I phoned the City Works Department regarding this, and my message was never returned. My family and I love this area, which is why we're so passionate about this issue. However, we're not prepared to put the health of our family in jeopardy any longer. We did a rough estimate as to how much money we have spent at local castlegar businesses within the past 4 years. The renovation materials for our addition, fencing, household purchases, recreational fees, and Selkirk College tuition fees, we are coming in just under $70,000 spent locally over a 4-year period. The City of Nelson has been pesticide-free for a number of years and has many of the same amenities as Castlegar. Please be advised that if a complete ban of cosmetic pesticide application does not happen forthright, we will be taking our business elsewhere. I'm confident that many other rural residents feel the same. Thank you very much.
My name is Elise Bourgeois, and I live at 310 2nd Ave, right next to Millennium Park. I have 3 daughters who play on that field a lot. Our oldest plays soccer there, and we all take the dog for walks over to the park. I don't like risking my family's health every time we play at the park. If you look at page 3 of the backgrounder, you will see that there are serious health risks for dogs as well as humans who are exposed, children being at the highest risk. As well, my husband and I play ball, and we would not be bothered by weeds as much as we would be bothered by pesticides and their health effects. The medical information about the side effects are on pages 2 and 3. Please read them over. Also, my husband and I, along with most of our neighbors, grow an organic garden in which we would never apply pesticides. But we get them when they are applied so close to us. Despite attempts at best practices, they are polluting rivers and hence also affecting fish, and they are dispersed by wind. And also through the rain and everything, puts it into the groundwater and everything. Also, we need our beads, and pesticides are killing them. See page 4 for the threats to them.
Thank you. The next person is not on your agenda, although he did submit his name, is Mark Jennings.
Hello, my name is Mark Jennings. I live at 1434 Highland Drive, which is the subdivision adjacent to Kinnaird Park. I use that park frequently. I have 3 children and I have a pet, so I walk that dog pretty much every day in that park. I am really would like to see us stop using pesticides, especially the ones that are dangerous to our health and to our environment. I have heard quite a lot about the environmental initiatives that the city has taken on in reducing water use and air quality in forms of regional transportation systems and your water meter program. And I'd like to see us go one step further and also look at toxic chemicals that we might be using inside our area. And in preparing for this, I researched the official community plan. As I understand that it's a guiding document for you guys' policies. And inside there, the very first part is 3.2 guiding principles. We talk about health and livability, and for obvious reasons, you can see why that would be impacted by pesticide use, and that we want to live in an outstanding place that's healthy by design. And I think that we can do that. And I also noticed that in section 17.2.15, you talked about researching alternatives and working towards eliminating the use of pesticides in municipal parks. And after talking to Deb McIntosh, I've heard about some of the trial runs that you guys have done on other types of pesticides, and other types of, I guess they are pesticides, whether they're alternative treatments. And that's good to hear that you guys are looking into different ways of managing our parks. And you talked about assessing public support for the adoption of a bylaw to restrict the use of pesticides on private lands. course, you guys, if you've read our petition, you probably would notice that we did not address that in our petition. We were only asking the people who signed the petition to stop the use of pesticides in our local parks, not on private land. So we're not talking about restricting the sale of pesticides inside the community or the use of it inside our community. It's just for public lands. I've also spoken with Darlene Kolosky at Communities in Bloom. She hasn't gotten back to me yet, but she said that the Communities in Bloom does not actively support the use of pesticides in their community. Thank you very much for